a common one is, I'm gonna send you a check for
I know about that
something.
one.
Okay, that there's more,
Nigeria, this check, put it in your bank. Oh, I sent you too much, send me this back.
yeah, right, yeah.
That's
Perfect right there.
Yeah, we had several from our department.
Got it.
It's a really good idea. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hold that thought, get the sign.
Get the sign. Yeah, good. Oh, hold on a second.
Yep.
Why is this doing this?
McGruff.
Yeah.
Over here, this side, McGruff. Yeah.
McGruff doesn't know what zip code she's in.
She
can't even see.
Right up here. Because we put them in the end and we may lose them.
There you go.
Oh, you okay, McGraw?
Don't move, McGruff.
We don't want to lose McGruff in the future.
Ready? Lee, ready? Good morning. Welcome to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. On behalf of Sheriff Rand Henderson and the Texas Crime Prevention Association, we invite you to the kickoff celebrating the 37th Annual National Night Out with us. Today, we will hear from Sheriff Rand Henderson and Andrew Samaripa from the Texas Crime Prevention Association. At this time, I would like to introduce Sheriff Rand Henderson.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant. Good morning, everyone. Sheriff Rand Henderson, I'm here to welcome you to the kickoff of the Texas National Night Out. This is the 37th Annual National Night Out, and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is proud to participate once again in National Night Out. Although this year has been a little different from years past, we continue with National Night Out, fulfilling the purpose of its creation. National Night Out was created to combat crime in our communities and has been proven very effective over time. National Night Out creates a powerful network among neighbors and empowers individual households to fight crime and drugs at the grassroots level. By getting to know your neighbors, you can help protect each other's homes and neighborhoods by knowing who is around you, and you can more easily pick out the suspicious person or activity when you're armed with that knowledge. The purpose of National Night Out, it's not just about having a huge community events and highlighting first responders and our equipment. It's about getting to know your neighbors, along with local police, and sending a message to the criminals that we are united in our fight against crime. This is a community policing at its core. What is community policing? Community policing is an essential piece of the Sheriff's Office outlook on policing. Community policing is not only important to our citizens, but to our deputies as well. Few become peace officers without the intention of improving the community and lives of others. Community policing includes both components of community-oriented policing and problem-oriented policing. Essentially, the entire community is responsible for order, and law enforcement officers are merely entrusted with this responsibility full-time. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is inviting you to join us for the 2020 National Night Out, and we'd like to remind you, first of all, remember the roots of National Night Out, to strengthen the spirit of community policing partnerships. Please consider traditional neighborhood block parties, turn on your front porch light, and light up the neighborhood to host your events. Also, we have patrol deputies that are going to be out and about. They'll be attending parties and patrolling as well. So say hello, wave, and remember this year it's Tuesday, October 6th. And with that, I'm pleased to announce or introduce Andrew with the Texas Crime Prevention Association. Andrew?
Thank you, Sheriff.
You bet.
First of all, I'd like to thank Montgomery County Sheriff's Office for hosting this statewide press conference. We really, truly enjoyed our partnership with them from the Texas Crime Prevention Association. Sheriff highlighted a lot of the different aspects of National Night Out as its deep core as far as community engagement, where law enforcement officers are part of the community, and therefore we are the community together as a whole in partnerships. With that being said, we do want to be able to say throughout the state that we have a number of different aspects of how we're going to conduct National Night Out throughout the state. By simply turning on the porch light is the best way to do it while maintaining social responsibility and social distancing as well. However, there's other avenues that you can approach that we have. Technology has improved over the years to where we can do virtual meetings, whether it's through Facebook Live or whether it's through Nextdoor or any other social media platform that's out there. We would encourage everybody, even though we can't always be together and we can't be out in big masses or community functions, we'd like to say, hey, let's do it virtually. Let's continue the passion that we have as a community as a whole community, to be able to conduct National Night Out, okay? I'd just like to give you a couple of numbers here. In the state of Texas, we have 1,175 registered National Night Out events throughout the entire state, which is phenomenal considering our circumstances that we're in right now. And it's continually growing. That's the number of people that have registered. That does not include the unregistered parties that are occurring out there. So we highly, highly encourage you to please register on the National Association of Town Watch's website there. And you click on the National Night Out button and you can register your party. It's not too late for that. Throughout the nation, they have moved the National Night Out to October in the midst of COVID-19. So we're still getting through this, and it is going to be very new for all of us as a whole. But for the most part, I just want to share with you what some of our fellow neighbors are doing throughout the state. West Ministry Presbyterian Church in Fort Worth are planning on delivering pizzas to their local police department and fire department. Just right down the road in Seabrook, Texas, they're going to have a community event as well. Over in Westover Hills, they are actually planning a virtual Zoom celebration. In Dickens County and Spur, Texas, they actually held it at a park. They did have a somewhat cookout with their local law enforcement agencies at that time. However, how they maintained their social responsibility is that each member of that community brought their own snacks and food at that place and that location, and they maintained their social distancing while wearing their mask. Okay, Gerald PD, they're looking at hosting a movie night at their Brookshire Brothers parking lot in Gerald, Texas. So those are some of the ideas of communities throughout the state that are actually hosting and doing National Night Out. But you know what? If we go back to the roots of what National Night Out was back in the mid-'80s, just simply turning on your porch light and understanding and getting to know your neighbor was the key moment in that. Block parties and community events are great social interaction, but in this day and age, turning on your porch light says it all, and it says it a lot. Block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, ultimately city by city, county by county, state by state. That's how we prevent crime together as a group. That's how we do it together as a community and being a community engaged. Okay? I just want to conclude with this. Okay? Since 1984, this event has been held. Okay? Over the last 2 decades, a little over 2 decades, Texas has led the nation with participation in National Night Out, and we still would like to continue to do this. I tell you that because I believe that Texas, I think it's about our people here in Texas. I think it ultimately comes down to we really respect and like to get to know our neighbors. And I think that's why we are so successful at National Night Out for a little over 2.5 decades. Okay? With 1,175 registered members throughout the state, that says a lot. Okay? But the most precious thing that we do as far as our community is concerned is protect the most precious resources that we have, and that is our children. We have to leave a legacy with them of what community is about. And I believe events like this, partnerships like this throughout the state are ultimately how we get to that peace in our communities and how we fight back on crime. Thank you for your time. I'll be followed by Lieutenant Spencer. Sir.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Sheriff. At this time, we'll take any questions you may have for the Sheriff or for Andrew. Any questions?
Why is it so important that you do this?
Who's it directed to?
Fox 26.
Go ahead, Sheriff.
The reason it's important that we do this, we do it every year. It's part of our core philosophy that we build upon community relations. And community relations are in our strategic plan as one of our core goals and our core objectives to achieving that goal. So I've been a participant in National Night Out through my entire 26-year career. We have an established community neighborhoods that have parties every year. We work every year to try to expand that into more communities, the more the better, because it's a reminder that your police come from your community. We're not an invading force. We're not a group that comes from another community. We live right here in Montgomery County. And we strive to protect the citizens who live here as well, because it just makes it a better place for all of us to live. And improving police-community relations remains one of our core values.
In your 26 years of being a part of National Night Out, is there a special story you'd like to share with the media?
You know, there's been some times where you've had, I recall an incident in particular where we had a kid that was afraid of the police. So through that interaction, the parents didn't like the police. They'd have some bad interactions, and the child had also become fearful of the police. But because of that interaction and being able to sit in the police car and realize that we're here in a time of need, we're your friends, not your enemies, that I believe that relationship got off onto a better foot, and hopefully that relationship continued to grow as that child became an adult, and never forgot that the positive interaction, because so often our interactions are negative with the community. So every opportunity that we get to create a positive relationship, we're all in.
Over the years, what was the most unique event that you saw at the National Night Out?
The Woodlands has always done a really good job with National Night Out. They have block parties where there's a lot of cul-de-sac streets in the Woodlands. But probably the most fun is when they had like a carnival atmosphere in the village of Panther Creek. So there were bounce houses and food. It was more of a carnival atmosphere. So it was just fun for everyone. And that was probably the biggest by far. The city of Conroe also puts on a good event in the Target Shopping Center. So they have a similar approach, but it's more of a commercial environment. This was in a neighborhood, so it's really neat to see it in a neighborhood.
What's the largest in attendance you've seen at some of these?
And the reason behind this is not to bring in large attendance. The attendance should be lots and lots of really small parties. So we want to have as many neighborhoods get involved as possible. So we're looking for street parties. So the Woodlands is a place where we kind of built our foundation on this, and then we've moved it into different neighborhoods throughout the county. So we don't have a patrol district within the county that goes without a party anymore, although that at one time was true. We've won some national competitions for how well we've done in National Night Out. I had the opportunity to take a picture, which hangs in my office to this day, with then Governor George Bush before he became president, as he awarded us a National Night Out award. So pretty neat stuff, and something that, accomplishments with it we're very proud of and proud to build upon as well.
Any other questions?
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Now, we have the two state books, 2018 and 2019.